Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Have you ever looked at your life and thought, maybe this year could be completely different? Maybe this year I could become someone new, build something better, start fresh. If you felt that pull, you're not alone, and today we're going to talk about how to actually make it happen. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, is Priya. Today, we are discussing how to change and build a new life in 2026.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. This topic feels so important right now, doesn't it? A new year always brings this feeling of possibility.
It really does. And I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. They want change, they want something different, but where do you even start?
That's the big question, because wanting change is one thing. Actually creating it is something completely different. Most people feel stuck before they even begin.
Exactly. And I think the first problem is that people don't really understand why they want to change. They just feel uncomfortable or unhappy, but they can't name what's wrong.
That's so true. It's like this vague feeling. Something isn't right, but you can't see it clearly. And without clarity, you can't take action.
Right. So you end up doing nothing. Or you try a few things randomly and give up because you're not sure what you're really solving.
And then there's the fear. Change is scary. Even if your current life isn't great, it's familiar. And the brain loves familiar things, even when they hurt us.
That's such an important point. Our brains are wired to keep us safe, and safe means predictable, even if predictable means unhappy. So change feels dangerous, even when it's good for us.
Exactly. So people stay in the same job, the same relationships, the same habits. Not because they love them, but because leaving feels too risky. It's like standing at the edge of a pool, afraid to jump in.
And another problem is that people try to change everything at once. They wake up on January 1st and decide to transform their entire life overnight. New job, new habits, new body, new mindset, all at the same time.
Yes, and that's a recipe for burnout. You can't rebuild a house while you're still living in it. Not all at once, anyway. You need a plan. You need steps.
So the real challenge is this. People want change, but they don't know where to focus. They're scared to start, and when they do start, they try to do too much. Does that sound about right?
Completely. And that's why most New Year's goals fail by February. It's not because people are lazy or weak. It's because they didn't set themselves up for success.
So let's talk about how to actually do this. How do you change your life in a way that works? Where do you begin?
I think the very first step is to get honest with yourself. You need to ask, what am I really unhappy about? Not surface stuff, but the deep stuff.
Right, because if you don't know what's broken, you can't fix it. So sit down with a notebook or just your phone and write down the truth. What's not working?
And be specific. Don't just say, I'm unhappy. Say, I'm unhappy because I feel trapped in my job, or I'm lonely because I don't have real friendships.
Yes, specificity is everything, because vague problems lead to vague solutions. But clear problems? Those you can actually solve.
And here's something interesting. A lot of people avoid this step. They don't want to admit what's really wrong, because admitting it makes it real.
That's true. But avoiding it doesn't make it go away. It just keeps you stuck. So you have to face it, even if it's uncomfortable.
Once you've done that, the next step is to ask yourself, what do I actually want? Not what other people want for you, not what sounds impressive. What do you want?
This is harder than it sounds, because a lot of us have been living for other people's expectations. We've forgotten what we actually care about.
Exactly. So take your time with this. Think about what energizes you, what makes you feel alive. What kind of life would make you excited to wake up?
And again, be specific. Don't say, I want to be happy. Say, I want to work on creative projects that matter to me. Or I want to live somewhere that feels like home.
Yes, because the clearer your vision, the easier it is to build towards it. You're creating a destination, and once you know where you're going, the path becomes clearer.
Okay, so now you know what's wrong and what you want. What's the next step? How do you actually start moving?
This is where most people mess up. They try to do everything, but the secret is to pick one thing, just one.
One thing? Not 10 things, just one?
Just one, because change is hard, and if you spread yourself too thin, nothing sticks. But if you focus all your energy on one area, you can actually make progress.
So how do you choose that one thing? What if everything feels important?
Good question. I'd say pick the thing that will create the biggest positive impact. The thing that, if you changed it, would make everything else easier. That's your leverage point.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say you're unhappy with your health, your job, and your relationships. All three matter, but maybe your health is dragging you down the most. You're tired, you have no energy, and that affects everything else.
So you start there.
Exactly. You focus on building better sleep, eating better, moving your body, and as your energy improves, suddenly you have the strength to tackle your job. You have the mood to invest in the relationships.
So it's like a domino effect. One change leads to others.
Yes, but only if you actually commit to that one thing. If you try to do all three at once, you'll burn out. Focus wins.
I love that. So let's say someone picks their one thing. What do they do next? How do they actually build the new habit or make the change?
Start small, ridiculously small. People always overestimate what they can do. They say, I'm going to exercise an hour every day starting tomorrow.
And then they do it for 3 days and quit.
Exactly, because it's too much too fast. Instead, start with 5 minutes or even 2 minutes.
2 minutes? That sounds almost too easy.
That's the point. It should feel easy because the goal isn't to exhaust yourself. The goal is to build consistency.
So it's about showing up, not about being perfect.
Exactly. If you show up for 2 minutes every day, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you can do it. And then, slowly, you can add more.
That makes so much sense, because consistency beats intensity every time.
Always. I'd rather see someone walk 10 minutes a day for a year than run an hour a day for 2 weeks and then quit. Slow and steady builds a new life.
So you pick one thing, you start small, you stay consistent. What else matters?
Environment. This is huge. You can't build a new life in the same environment that created your old one. Your surroundings shape you more than you think.
What do you mean by environment?
Everything around you, the people you spend time with, the places you go, the things you see every day, even your physical space, like your home or your workspace.
So if you want to change, you have to change your environment too.
In most cases, yes, because your environment either supports your growth or it fights against it. If you're surrounded by people who complain all the time, you'll complain. If your home is cluttered and chaotic, your mind will feel the same.
That's a tough one, because some things you can't change. You can't always move to a new city or leave your job immediately.
True, but you can make small shifts. You can spend less time with negative people and more time with positive ones. You can clean your space, organize your desk, create a corner that feels good.
So it's about controlling what you can control.
Exactly. You don't need a perfect environment. You just need one that supports your goals, even in small ways. Little changes add up.
Okay, so environment matters. What about mindset? Because I feel like a lot of change happens in the mind first.
Absolutely. Your mindset is everything. If you believe change is impossible, it will be. But if you believe it's possible, you'll find a way.
So how do you shift your mindset, especially if you've been thinking negatively for years?
It starts with awareness. Notice your thoughts. When you think, I can't do this, pause. Ask yourself, is that actually true or is that just fear talking?
And usually it's fear.
Usually, yes. Fear loves to disguise itself as truth. But once you see it for what it is, it loses power. You can choose a different thought.
Like what?
Like, I haven't done this yet, but I can learn. Or, this is hard, but I'm willing to try. It's a small shift, but it changes everything.
So it's about controlling what you can control.
Exactly. You don't need a perfect environment. You just need one that supports your goals, even in small ways. Little changes add up.
Okay, so environment matters. What about mindset? Because I feel like a lot of change happens in the mind first.
Absolutely. Your mindset is everything. If you believe change is impossible, it will be. But if you believe it's possible, you'll find a way.
So how do you shift your mindset, especially if you've been thinking negatively for years?
It starts with awareness. Notice your thoughts. When you think, I can't do this, pause. Ask yourself, is that actually true or is that just fear talking?
And usually it's fear.
Usually, yes. Fear loves to disguise itself as truth. But once you see it for what it is, it loses power. you can choose a different thought.
Like what?
Like, I haven't done this yet, but I can learn. Or, this is hard, but I'm willing to try. It's a small shift, but it changes everything.
So you're not pretending everything is easy. You're just staying open to possibility.
Exactly. It's not toxic positivity, it's realistic optimism. You see the challenge, but you also see the opportunity.
I like that. Realistic optimism. That feels doable.
And the more you practice it, the easier it gets. Your brain starts to default to that mindset. It becomes your new normal.
So let's talk about time. How long does it take to build a new life? Because I think people expect instant results.
That's one of the biggest mistakes. People want change to happen overnight, but real, lasting change takes time, months, sometimes years.
Years? That can feel discouraging.
I know, but think about it this way. The time will pass anyway. You can spend the next year doing nothing, or you can spend it building something.
So it's not about how long it takes, it's about whether you're moving forward at all.
Exactly. And here's the thing. You'll start seeing small results quickly. Maybe not in a week, but in a month or two. Those small wins keep you motivated.
So you don't have to wait years to feel different.
Not at all. You'll feel different in weeks. You'll see real change in months. And in a year, your life can look completely different.
That's actually really encouraging, because a year isn't that long.
It's not. And when you look back a year from now, you'll be amazed. But only if you start today. Not next Monday, not next month, today.
So what should someone do today, like right after listening to this?
Pick one thing, just one. Write it down and do the smallest possible version of it.
Can you give a real example?
Sure. Let's say you want to build a healthier body. Don't plan a whole workout routine. Just do 10 push-ups right now, or walk around the block.
That's it?
That's it. Because action creates momentum, and momentum creates confidence, and confidence creates more action.
So it's a cycle.
Exactly. But you have to start the cycle. And the only way to start is to do something, no matter how small. Thinking about it won't change your life. Action will.
What about setbacks? Because I think everyone hits them. You're doing great and then something goes wrong.
Setbacks are normal. They're part of the process. The problem is that people treat setbacks like failure. They miss one day and think, I've ruined everything.
And then they quit.
Exactly. But missing one day doesn't ruin anything. It's just one day. What ruins progress is giving up completely.
So how do you handle a setback?
You acknowledge it. You don't beat yourself up. You just get back on track the next day. No drama, no guilt, just continue.
So it's about resilience.
Yes, and resilience isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. That's what separates people who change from people who don't.
I think another big challenge is other people. Sometimes the people around you don't support your change.
That's so true, and it's painful. You'd think the people who love you would cheer you on, but sometimes they don't.
Why is that?
A few reasons. Sometimes they're comfortable with who you are. Your change reminds them that they're not changing, and that makes them uncomfortable.
So they pull you back down.
Sometimes, yes. Not always on purpose, but they might make jokes, criticize you, or discourage you. It's their fear, not yours.
So what do?
You protect your energy. You don't need to cut people off completely, but you do need to limit time with people who drain you, then spend more time with people who lift you up.
And if you don't have those people yet?
Then you find them. Join a community, take a class, go online. There are people out there who want what you want. You just have to look for them.
So building a new life sometimes means building a new circle.
Often, yes, and that's okay. You're not abandoning people, you're just growing in a new direction.
Let's talk about money, because I think a lot of people feel stuck because of finances. They think, I can't change my life because I can't afford to.
This is a real concern. Money matters, but it's not always the roadblock people think it is. Sometimes it's an excuse.
An excuse?
Yes, because there are many changes you can make that cost nothing. You can change your habits, your mindset, your relationships. Those are free.
But what if someone wants to change careers, or move, or start a business? Those cost money.
They do, and in those cases, you plan. You don't quit your job tomorrow. You save, you learn skills, you build slowly.
So it's a longer process.
Yes, but it's still possible. You just have to be strategic. Maybe you work on your new thing on weekends or evenings while keeping your job.
So you're building in the background.
Exactly. And eventually, when you're ready, you make the jump. But you do it smartly, not recklessly. Financial stability matters.
So change doesn't have to be reckless.
Never. Real change is thoughtful. It's brave, but it's not stupid. You take risks, but you also protect yourself.
What about identity? I think a lot of people struggle because they've been one way for so long. They don't know who they are without their old life.
This is deep. And it's real. Your identity is tied to your habits, your job, your roles. When you change those, you can feel lost.
So how do you handle that?
You give yourself permission to explore. You don't have to have it all figured out. You're allowed to try things and see what fits.
So it's okay to not know who you're becoming?
Absolutely. In fact, it's necessary. You can't know who you'll become until you start becoming. The path reveals itself as you walk.
That's actually kind of beautiful.
It is. And it's freeing because it takes the pressure off. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to be better.
So you don't need to have the whole plan.
No, you just need the next step and then the next one. That's how you build a life, one step at a time.
Let's talk about staying motivated, because starting is one thing, but how do you keep going when it gets hard?
Motivation is tricky. It comes and goes. You can't rely on it. What you need is discipline.
What's the difference?
Motivation is a feeling. It's excitement. It's energy. Discipline is a decision. It's doing the thing even when you don't feel like it.
So discipline is more reliable.
Much more. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. That's the real secret.
But how do you build discipline?
By showing up. Every day. No excuses. Even when it's hard, even when it's boring, you just do it.
And over time, it gets easier?
It does, because discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And eventually, it becomes automatic.
So it's not about willpower. It's about habit.
Exactly. You're not fighting yourself every day. You're just following the system you built. That's when change becomes effortless.
What about celebrating progress? I feel like people forget to do that.
They absolutely do, and it's a mistake. Because celebrating progress fuels motivation. It reminds you that you're moving forward.
So how do you celebrate?
It doesn't have to be big. It can be small. Acknowledge yourself. Say, I did it. Treat yourself to something nice.
Like a reward.
Yes, but the real reward is the feeling of knowing you kept your promise to yourself. That builds self-trust.
And self-trust is everything.
It really is, because if you trust yourself, you know you can do hard things. And that confidence changes everything. You stop doubting, you start believing.
So building a new life is really about building a new relationship with yourself.
That's exactly it. You're learning to respect yourself, to keep promises to yourself, to believe in yourself.
And that's more valuable than any external change.
Absolutely, because external things can be taken away. But who you become, that's yours forever. No one can take that from you.
So let's bring this all together. If someone listening wants to change their life in 2026, what's the main message?
The main message is this. It's possible. No matter where you are right now, change is possible. But it requires action, not just intention.
And it requires patience.
Yes, change takes time. But the time will pass anyway, so you might as well spend it becoming who you want to be.
And it's not about perfection.
Not at all. It's about progress. Small steps, every day, in the right direction. That's how you build a new life.
So if you're listening and you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. You don't need permission. You just need to start.
Pick one thing. Do it today. And then do it again tomorrow. That's all it takes.
And remember, you don't have to change everything at once. You just have to start somewhere, anywhere.
Because a year from now, you'll wish you started today. So why not start now? Why not make 2026 the year everything changes?
That's such a powerful way to think about it. And honestly, I think everyone listening can do this.
I know they can, because change isn't reserved for special people. It's available to anyone willing to try, and that includes you.
So, here's what we want you to do. After this episode, take 5 minutes. Write down one thing you want to change.
Just one, not 5, not 10, one thing that really matters to you. And then do the smallest version of it today.
And if you miss a day, don't quit. Just get back on track. Keep going.
Because consistency beats perfection, and progress beats standing still. You've got this.
We really believe that, and we hope this conversation has given you some clarity, some direction, some courage.
Because building a new life isn't about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to start anyway, even when you're scared.
And you are brave enough. You've made it this far. Now keep going.
Thank you so much for listening today. We hope this episode helped you see what's possible, and we're cheering you on every step of the way.
If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to check out our other topics. We've talked about building confidence, managing stress, and finding purpose. All things that might help you on your journey.
And if you have questions or want us to cover a specific topic, let us know. We're here to support you. This is your journey, and we're honored to be a small part of it.
So, from both of us, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for choosing to grow.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourself. And remember, your new life is waiting. You just have to build it, one step at a time, starting today. You've got this.